So, why do we study the past, and especially the prehistoric past? What relevance does it have for today? The actual answer is almost none. In order to succeed in life, you do not need to know that Homo habilis made tools, nor do you need to know that Neanderthals were the first to bury their dead. These facts won't help you get a job, provide for a family, or even navigate public transportation. But the more we study about the past, the more we look behind us, the more we come to understand about ourselves, what is important, and what is in front of us. For example, why do kids play sports? Is every child who picks up a hockey stick or kicks a soccer ball going to go pro? Not a chance. But applying the same logic about history, then what is the point of playing? The point is to learn things like discipline, leadership, teamwork, feel the pride of success and the sting of defeat in a controlled setting. The same is true when we study history. We study early humans and prehistoric people because it is important to understand us, and here's why. Here is the story. There are 5 characters mentioned in this story: Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man, and finally, Cro-Magnons, or anatomically modern humans. Each of these characters contributes to the story in a meaningful way. Australopithecus was the first to walk on 2 legs. Now this feat isn't all that impressive on its own. After all, chickens walk on 2 legs and they aren't that bright. But by being a primate and freeing up the use of their hands and becoming more efficient over long distances, this guy literally took the first step to becoming human. Group hierarchies, migration patterns, evolution itself all changed in response to environmental stimuli. Eventually, some of these Australopithecines got so smart they started building their own tools. They literally started shaping their world. They ushered in a new era of evolution and thus began Homo habilis, or handyman, the first of our genus. After 1,000,000 years or so, shaping tools wasn't enough. They got itchy feet and needed to move, and another creature descended from this character, the Homo erectus, or upright man. With long, upright bodies perfectly adapted to walking and running, and no body hair, so they had the ability to sweat, these guys literally walked out of Africa and spread the seeds of humanity from Europe to Asia. Once the Ice Age hit, only one creature was tough enough, or maybe stubborn enough, to stick it out in Europe: the Neanderthal man. With a brain as big as modern humans and a body built like a combination between a rugby player and a rodeo rider, this character was not only tough, but smart enough to innovate its way through the Ice Age. In fact, the end of the Ice Age, ironically, led to this character's extinction. Then along comes us, or at least anatomically modern us. About 80,000 years ago, physically modern humans were hunting woolly mammoths around Europe and being hunted by cave bears and saber-toothed tigers. But they were not only able to survive, they also created works of art on cave walls, sculptures, musical instruments, and a staggering array of the most deadly weapons that had ever been created. But they were missing one thing: a steady diet. Until along came farming. 10,000 years ago, people in the Fertile Crescent, what is now known as the Middle East, started growing barley and wheat and domesticating animals for meat, dairy, clothing, and work. Over the next few thousand years, everything changed. With a stable food source, people lived in one place all year long. The hunter-gatherer nomadic lifestyle was over. And once people had a little extra time on their hands, they started to develop things like pottery, architecture, and highly specialized trades. In order to exchange and barter goods for food, people developed record keeping, which led to the invention of writing. The problem of transportation over land was solved by turning the potter's wheel on its side and actually reinventing the wheel. Religion, culture, social class, nationhood, all of it came about because of farming. And that leads us to today and our initial question. Why is studying history important? Well, it might help us recognize our next farming. What is going on around us that might be a paradigm shift in the way we live our lives? From walking to tool making to exploration to innovation and finally culture, these early species help to illustrate for us what it means to be human. So indeed, it is important to peer into the past and take a close look back, because it is this refocusing that can help sharpen our image of the present and the future.